We just got done delivering mail. Not actually, we played a board game. Let's talk about it.
What does that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube. We're back again today for another Thoughts from the Corner with my good friend Ronnie. We're talking about the Great American Rail Race, brought to you by Big Potato Games and the United States Postal Service. That sounds weird saying out loud. This is for 2 to 4 players. It'll take you about 45 minutes. It's for ages 10 plus. And in the Great American Rail Race, you are going to have this big old board set out. And you're going to be going around this board with your little mail van, playing down cards and trying to pick up cubes and drop it off at various different places. This is a pick up and deliver game. And on your turn, it's really, really simple what you can do. It says it on the back of your handy dandy little bicycle / player reference cards. You have 4 choices. You can either draw 0 cards and play 3 cards, or you can draw 1 card and play 2 cards, or you can draw 2 cards and play 1 card, and shockingly, you can also draw 3 cards and play no cards. Those are your only choices you can do. What are the cards? Well, the cards will have a variety of different ways that you can get around. You can get around on a bicycle, you can get around mail jump, which this one allows you to go over water. There's a mule, which allows you to go over trails, and on the board, there will be a variety of different ways that you can travel around. There will also be trains you can take, there will be post offices, but the transport card to break it up into 3 different ones. Round 1, or not round 1, but the first part of the game, the second part of the game, and the third part of the game. So as you get further on, you'll progressively get better vehicles that will get you around. Now, where things get interesting, in addition to the pick up and deliver, which is pretty standard, is that you can also take that with people. So you can go over people and you can steal the goods, the little cubes in the back of their van, but this is a little bit risky because if you have cubes in the back of your van at the end of the game, it's 3 points that you lose. But undoubtedly, the main thing, the star of the show, is this little doober right here. This is how you're going to keep track of your score, and when you do this, you actually have a stamper, and you get to stamp it, and it's satisfying, and it works really stinking well. But that's the basic of the Great American Mail Race. Pick up and deliver. Not quite Gateway, but I'd say a step right above that. Kind of like a Small World-esque thing. What are your first thoughts on the Great American Mail Race, Ronnie?
It was fun. I had fun playing it. Something that bugged me a little bit is the names of the cities. I don't know. I feel like it's unnecessary.
I think they were trying to go for like the family weight crowd because there's one like that's named Ding Dong and Elephant Butt.
Big Butt? Oh, Big Bottom.
And I'm going to guess that these are actual locations around the country.
Really?
Oh yeah, 100%. I would imagine these are locations around the country. Now, my issue that I have with these locations was the fact I wish there came to be some times where we didn't know where to put things. They'll say, "Oh, we need to be in Booger Hole," and then so you're like, "Oh, well, where's Booger Hole?" And it doesn't. There's no good way to find Booger Hole on the board, so you're just like looking around everywhere. I wish if they would have just included just a little bit more iconography of where it was.
Yeah.
That would have been nice. That being said, that's a nitpick more than anything. I enjoyed it as well. It's pick up and deliver, which is one of my least favorite genres of games, but I did enjoy the fact that you can kind of go over people and steal their cubes. There's a couple different things you can do, like, if you can pick up a cube and then drop it off in the same turn. And really, it's a big moving puzzle, pretty much. At the beginning of your turn, you're like, how am I going to get from point A to point B with the cards that I have, or do I draw cards? It feels familiar, but different at the same time with the drawing cards. You got the buy row of 3 cards you can always take from, a la like Ticket to Ride or something like that. I like the artwork. I like the components.
The game definitely screams Ticket to Ride. The cards out there, drafting the cards, the map. It doesn't play
at
like
all. Yeah, but
Ticket to Ride at all.
First glance, definitely, you'd be like, ooh, what is that? Gameplay wise, good to great. I think I'm on the good. I don't think this is great.
Yeah, it was definitely only good. I certainly had fun playing it. I would play it again. I don't think I would buy it.
I would agree with that as well. A couple things holding it down for me. First and foremost, 2 to 4 players, restricted player count. Anytime you have a 2 to 4 player game, you gotta bring it. I don't think good enough is ever good enough in a 2 to 4 player game because there's just too many of that. Also, another big nitpick that I have with this is the box. So you can put the box on like this, but if you try and go like this, it won't work. It's a rectangle instead of a square. Nitpick, but it drives me absolutely nuts.
So you fit the insert in there.
Oh, and the box insert is garbage. I just immediately got rid of it because it doesn't do anything. The rules are also weird and wonky as well. they come in an envelope, and I absolutely give them kudos. The first thing that you see is, hey, don't read these rules. Go get on YouTube and figure it out. There's a Rodney Smith How to Play 16-minute. It was really well done. But the rules, they're just loose paper. I'm not a fan of that. Feels very early game craftery, and I imagine it's because they're going green and they don't want to use the staples or something like that. But it's well, they are going green. Like everything in here
We
was
saved
like,
one staple making this game.
well, if it's a 5,000 print run, you use 3 staples. That's 15,000 staples. That's a decent chunk of staples. I wish these were done. Well, you can make them double sided. In the end, I think it's a good game. I just ultimately feel like this is a. I feel like unless you're newer, if you were newer to the hobby, and this was one of the first games that you ever got or you ever played, I think that this would be good. I think you'd be like, oh, this is a lot of fun.
It's a little interesting to me in the game that I think there was only one steal or assist
Yes.
in the game we played, and I feel like on an average game there's going to be more than one. I feel like that's going to happen more often.
Well, I don't know. Well, here's the thing. In order to steal, you have to go over someone's spot. But up until the end of the game, getting 3 spaces is really difficult. So essentially, you would have to have a 2-move space, and you'd have to be right next to somebody to even steal it. So yeah, I think it's good.
I had fun playing it.
I think
it's not enough for me to spend. How much? Do you know how much the game is?
It's probably 30, 40. It's probably $40. I imagine this is going to be a Target one. 35, $40, something like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't spend $40 on it.
Yeah, it's good enough. But unfortunately, I just don't. Because here's what I was trying to think of: who would I recommend this game to? Like, who am I like? Yeah, you would
Someone
love
who
this.
really likes Ticket to Ride and Munchkin combined.
But there's not even that much take that.
No.
Yeah, I could see that. In the end, good, not great. And 2 to 4 players kind of lingers for me. This is one that's probably not going to stay in my collection. In fact, would you want this game? Will I offer it to you? Like right now, just you could take it home. Would you want it?
I'd probably take it for free. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm going to turn Ronnie into a hoarder if it keeps coming to game night. But that is the Great American Mail Race from Big Potato Games. Not anywhere near my favorite Big Potato games of all time, but still, there's one thing I love about Big Potato Games. I have never played a bad Big Potato Games. They do their quality control. This one, I think it has a very limited audience, because I think the deeper you get into the hobby, the less likely this is going to be for you, because there's a lot of other pick up and deliver games that go up to 5 players that have solo variants that have a little bit more meat. Because here's the other thing that I didn't really think about was we saw everything in this game. We played one game and there is nothing new that we're ever going to see ever.
Yeah, it is awfully samey. Like the cubes always go to the same spot, and so there's no variety in the letters either, or packages.
I mean, there's fragile. That's it. I mean, just mix them up.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's pretty samey.
Yeah.
You always start at the same spot. Everyone starts at the same spot. Yeah, that's a good point. It would be pretty same. Maybe I don't want it for free. You're talking me out of it.
The Great American Mail Race from Big Potato Games. Hopefully I didn't talk you out of it, but if you enjoyed the content, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below as I'm trying to reach 15,000 subscribers, because that's bigger than 10,000. And in the comments below, let me know. What did you do the last time you were at the post office? This is a stupid question.
Mailed.
Yeah.
Oh. I mailed out a bunch of letters trying to get myself elected.
Ah. All right. I returned a game, which let me tell you, behind the corner stuff, returning games is the worst part. You get like these Kickstarter previews that are like, can you ship that to somebody else? And somebody else is like Kuwait. It's terrible. But let me know in the comments below what's the last thing you did at the post office. And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube. This video is brought to you by all of my amazing Patreon supporters, and I would love it if you would join their ranks and have your name immortalized in the end of many of my videos for the end of time. But consider for only $1 a month, and as always, thanks for stopping by.